Sean Casey here. We're in the house in Newry and I'm delighted to be joined by Armagh manager Kieran McGeeney. Kieran, such a brilliant year last year and we're into the middle of 2025 now. Thoughts for the future and I suppose reflecting on last year as well?
Yeah, well, that's sport. You're back in the middle of the storm. Just, eating bread, as I say, soon forgotten by most. Maybe not by those that have actually eaten it. So yeah, really good memories of last year. It's a great, a fantastic, I suppose, moment in Armagh's history, and especially for those young men, to be able to eventually scale the summit after years of knockbacks and setbacks was truly for all of us involved, and hopefully for the whole county a really momentous time for the future. We're hoping that it'll act as a springboard. The whole thing about all of this here is about building for the future. I remember saying a long time ago that there's a saying that I've always loved, wise men plant trees under which they'll never know the shade, and that's exactly what we're doing now. We have academy, we have underage, we have young people at 8, 9, 10 who are looking up to their heroes, and we don't want to keep bringing them to Callanbridge, and no disrespect, but we want to bring them to something every other county has it, and it's not just because of that we want it. What we're really looking for is for our young people to be proud of who they are and what they're about and what they belong to. We're hoping that the facilities will match that sense of want and desire to be better on the pitches, and the stuff that we have, the facilities that we use to try and get them there, as I say, will match that. So in terms of the future, there's a lot of hope, a lot of confidence too, in terms of where the county's going. And for all of us, I think it's always worth remembering that it's not about the Aidan Farkers or Rory Grugans or Rian O'Neills or Kieran McGeeneys or whatever. The jersey's going to be handed on to somebody else now, in the future. And our hope is that what we're doing now, these £20 tickets, are buying more than bricks and mortar to me. They're buying hope, they're buying confidence, they're buying a belonging.
And Kieran, just on yourself, I suppose, what's your earliest memory or your fondest memory of getting involved with GAA as a younger person?
Probably Charlie Grant. A few of my friends, Kieran and Thomas, have been close friends of mine since I was a child, but their father Charlie introduced me. We had moved actually from Craigan, so I could have ended up playing for Crossmaglen. God forbid, a lot of them wouldn't like that, but that's where we lived. Actually beside Jarlath Burns and Gavin Comiskey there from Cross, so we'd lived there and we moved to 𝗲𝗲𝗏, but I hadn't played Gaelic football at all, or really got involved in many sports. I think it was around 8 or 9, but I remember walking down Cranny Road and the car stopped and it was Charlie. Charlie says, "You're Bridget Kelly's son?" And I goes, "Yeah." And he says, "Do you play football?" And I goes, "No." "And have you boots?" And I says, "I do." And he says, "Oh, get them there." And Charlie brought me off to a game. I don't know who we actually played. I ended up, I think I'd done nets, and I think that was the game now, but I think I ended up saving a penalty, so it was the worst thing you could do as a young fella, because they stuck you in nets for a year or or two. But I was very young, I was still only on the 12s then, I was only 8 or 9, so it's it was Benny Turney, Fergus McDonald, Rory McDonald, Declan Crawley, all of that age group. And it's funny, that age group, even though they were 3 or 4 years ahead of me, we did well going up through the ranks. We had good success, and so yeah, that's how I started in Gaelic football. And it was funny now, Charlie had a big part to play in it, his wife Margaret. Charlie's passed away since, but I'd still be very close to the family, and Margaret, we a great supporter as well, so I always tag in and see how things are going there. So yeah, a long time ago, but good memories.
And that 8 or 9-year-old Kieran McGeeney, what would he think of this Kieran McGeeney now and the success you've had? You're on a very short list of people that have won All-Irelands as a captain and a manager, so how would your younger self reflect on your success?
I don't know, probably think he's a grumpy git. I suppose, I don't know. I've had two ends of the spectrum in terms of that success, in terms of being driven and pushed and wanting success, and then being part of a group then that you're trying to push rather than being the driving force or being part of the driving force from within. So I think he'd be happy. I think he'd just sort of remind myself to enjoy it which sometimes I can miss out. Like I do always enjoy it, despite the reputation that everybody seems to think I have. I love football. I enjoy being part of it, and you know, it's been a huge part of my life. It's very much entwined in my own DNA at this sort of stage. So I'd say just keep on going, and push, because you only have a certain amount of time, and to enjoy it, and just to make sure that, again, just probably the same way as Charlie passed it on to me, and my parents have nurtured that over the years, just to pass it on to the next group, and hopefully we'll continue success in the county.
And we have this house, Kieran. What have you made of it? You've been looking around it there this morning.
Yeah, listen, we all find it hard to find nice houses, like the way things are at the moment, like in terms of getting on the property ladder, and just like having somewhere that I think it's a great price, but like it's a great location too. There's everything about it, like it's well finished, but it's like a double-edged sword. Like normally when we're trying to get something, like it's very rarely that like it covers two bases. And I just love everybody to sort of understand what they're getting involved in. Yes, there's a great prize, and it's a beautiful prize. Like, and it's a life-changing prize. Like even from whether you keep the house and rent it, or you live in it, or you take the cash alternative, like you know, it's a life-changing amount of money, and it's a life-changing thing when you get your house. But I think as well as that, like we just need to always mind, like when we're buying the tickets, like that we're doing something for the kids of the future. Like when you're sitting in Croke Park, it's always hard to know a bit like what the impact, like the likes of the Charlie, or what had on me, or different coaches over the years. The impact that you're having on the younger players coming through is important to remember why you're buying it. Like, so, you know, if you can afford more than one or two tickets, brilliant. If there's only one that you can get, you know, so be it. But it's you're covering a lot of bases with this house.